Wait. Oh. Now.
What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, time for Mat Therapy. I'm Dawna Gonzalez, joined by Miss Bex and Violence, Becky Dominguez. We've got Mr. Super Producer to my right, Lee Syatt. And today we have two awesome guests in the house. I'm really excited. We have EBI Super Fight competitor, Miss Cora Sek, joining us today. And in a little while, we're going to bring in my homie, Andrew Murillo, to talk about some stuff we got going on. So that'll be in a little while. But first, what's up, Cora?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. You excited about EBI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and your dad drove out here from Texas, right?
Yeah.
And you're in town training, getting ready for your EBI Super Fight. Tell us about that. Who are you fighting?
I'm fighting Zoe Childs. I think she's from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever met before in a competition?
Yeah, I fought her like a few months ago at my dad's kumite, and I beat her. And then I had another super fight with her a few months ago, and she beat me a ref's decision.
So this is it.
This is the determining fight.
Trilogy.
All right.
Very nice. Very nice.
This is going to be what, your second or third time fighting at EBI?
I think my third.
So to the point that she's lost count, basically.
Right. She's like, I don't know. I've been on EBI so many times. So many.
And she already has another one lined up after this.
That's right. You have another EBI. That's right. The All Lady Show. What up? So let's tell everybody about you and your journey in jiu-jitsu. How old were you when you started training?
I was turning 8 when I started.
How old are you now?
13.
Okay.
You've been doing it longer than most adults. Do you know that?
You've been doing it longer than me.
So what made you
About
start
as long
doing
as you.
jiu-jitsu? Yeah.
My parents didn't want me staying home, like just coming home after school watching TV. So they were like, "Oh, pick something," and then.
Why did you pick jiu-jitsu? Yeah.
So this is what happened. So I wanted to do karate, and all the schools around were just like, bad and stuff.
Kind of McDojos.
Yeah.
McDojo.
I did not make up that word.
I've never heard of it. It was a good one.
And so they were just like pretty like boring and stuff. So my mom was like looking online, and she found jiu-jitsu, and she was like, "Oh, how about we just go look at the gym and see how it is and see if you want to do it." And so
You were like, yeah, whatever. That's cool. Choke some people out.
I'm a fan of that whole, like, putting a kid in a sport, like
For
something
sure.
to do after school. Because that's what I did growing up. Like, I was roller skating for 12 years, and I feel like, not that never thought about doing anything bad or anything, but I feel like that kept me out of getting involved in anything.
I wish I had
any
done
trouble.
something. We were kind of poor. I didn't do any sports. So. Anyway.
I was an only child, so I guess there's that too.
Yeah, there were 3 of us. So you, at 8 years old, you walk in, and did you start training in the gi first, or what did you do?
Well, before that, I just trained in like regular clothes, and then
Like in jeans, they let you just come in jeans and a sweatshirt.
just like comfortable clothes that I can move in. But
So it was a no gi school.
it was a more of a gi school, and then they started doing a little bit more no gi. But they had like a 30-day free trial thing, so
That's when you were wearing the sweatshirts and the jeans.
You don't want to invest in like a gi or anything, rash guards and stuff until you're sure.
We just like did the 30-day free thing to see how, like, if I still wanted to do it from now on, or just like as a hobby
got
or
bored
something.
with it
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
So at what point were you like, yes, this
Like,
is the
this is
sport
me.
that I'm going to dominate it?
The first day I was just like, I told my mom I really liked it, and it was really fun. So
Did you just pick stuff up really easily? Was it easy for you to learn?
not really. The coach would always like snap at me. They're like, pay attention.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So what made you decide to stay?
I don't know. It was just like really fun. Yeah.
And then how long before your first tournament when you were like, I can beat people?
It was like in 2 years I started competing. Like
Really?
after, like in 2 years, 2 or 3 years or something.
So you've been competing for at least 6 years.
No, I've been training. I've been training for almost 6 years now.
So about 4 years of competition. How many times do you think you've competed?
Oh God,
Do you compete
lot.
every week?
I mean, if she's lost count of her EBIs at this point, she's definitely lost
It
count
seems
of
like you compete
competitions.
every week. Anybody who follows you on social media, it seems like you compete.
With my dad's kumite, then basically, yeah.
What's kumite?
It's basically like a small like tournament where like different divisions of kids getting together and competing with round robin in EBI rules.
So was your dad into this before, or did he start all these kumites after you joined jiu-jitsu?
After I started jiu-jitsu, he just started it in like this year
right?
January.
Yeah.
And did he do that so you would have more experience competing, or did it just seem like something fun to do to bring kids together?
Because now I don't have that many kids like in my division, like tournament wise, then
With the same amount of experience as
yeah,
you. Yeah.
he wanted like me to get more like roles in.
So just
meet
good
new
opportunity to bring other kids in.
and just like work on like a lot of stuff I've been doing.
So how many hours a week do you train?
Oh, God.
With summer, I've been training a lot more I have than school, because in school I've done like sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And
You play
So you
other
do
sports?
stuff?
yeah,
Like on a team?
What do you do?
I did volleyball.
You were on the volleyball team and doing jiu-jitsu this whole time?
Yeah. Well, just like during like the first beginning of the school year.
Okay.
Like in the fall.
So when
Yeah.
do you sleep and do homework?
Let's see.
And you actually go to school. You're not homeschooled or anything, right?
Yeah, I go to school. Just like whenever we get done with our practices. And
So you'll go to
games and
school all day.
Yeah.
And then you'll go do volleyball for a couple hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'll go.
Home and
To-
train?
You go home and train, or do you go to the gym and train?
we have certain days where we do like volleyball practice, and the days we don't, we try to get as much training as much.
What do the kids at school think about you doing jiu-jitsu?
Oh, they don't mess with me.
I would imagine.
That's where you give that thug life look.
Do the boy do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Any
Okay.
boys you
All
like?
right, the face of no, I do not have a boyfriend. Do you think boys get intimidated that you can beat them up?
They mess with me, and I put them in a Kimura sometimes.
Nice.
Like, this one boy, he took my pencil, and it was like one of those fancy mechanical pencils.
Do you think that maybe he did it on purpose to get you to touch him or something? Okay. I'm just saying, because little boys, that seems like something a 13-year-old boy would do. Like,
That's true.
Maybe he liked you.
They pick on you when they like you.
No?
No.
Okay.
Come on, Dawna. You can't
Right.
let that panic
I'm the
still
only
go
one
away.
here that thinks 13-year-old boys might have ulterior motives.
It's a
when it
fancy
comes to a pretty
mechanical
girl.
pencil. I mean, maybe he really did want the damn pencil.
Okay. Right.
Any other sports?
I did track.
Yeah.
Do you play basketball too, or do you just mess around?
Oh, no. I was going to try for basketball, and then I was, like, too lazy to get up in the morning.
Yes, you're so lazy. You really need to work on that, Cora. So lazy.
Do you want to do this professionally, or have you even thought about that, or are you just having fun?
I want to do it for, like, the rest of my life, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
That's,
cool.
like, that's my goal.
All right. Do you want to be famous in jiu-jitsu? I mean, you kind of already
I
are.
was going to say, you are, right?
kind of already are, but
Yeah.
You want to be famous?
do you want to?
Do you want to fight? Do you want to do MMA?
Nope.
No MMA.
Nope.
Just jiu-jitsu.
Work girl. High five.
Wait,
I don't-
why? What's wrong with
Because
that?
I don't want to mess up
Because
my
I was
face.
always like that. Everybody always
It's a nice face.
Everybody
Yeah, I don't
always
wa- I don't
asked
wanna
if I
mess
wanted
this
to do,
up.
and I was like, no, not interested.
scared to get
So
hit in the
I like that
face.
she wants to keep it
Pure.
Keep it-
Just pure
exactly,
jiu-jitsu. I gotcha.
exactly.
So someday are we going to see
not
the,
hating on MMA at all.
the Cora Sek jiu-jitsu school? Maybe a 10th Planet Moon or something?
Oh,
I want to open up my own 10 Planet Houston.
Nice.
oh. Anybody out there?
Houston, what up? Message us. We'll get you in touch with Cora.
But don't try and step on her toes. Don't open a 10
right.
Planet Houston before she's old enough.
That's right.
That's hers. She called it.
I said that whoever tried to open up a 10th Planet Houston, I would try to sabotage their business.
Damn.
What's the plan to do that? What are you going to
Yeah.
pick it outside or something?
I don't know.
But that would be a nice place for you to train.
She'll
why
just
would
go
you
in and just armbar all the dudes,
Right.
and then they'll be like, "Ah."
make grown men cry? I don't want to train at 10th Planet anymore.
Stomp out.
Do you have any older brothers or anything like that?
I have just a little brother, but
But,
Okay,
whatever. Just, whatever.
He's pretty adorable.
You could beat him
No,
up
he's not.
anyways.
Yeah, he's
No, he's
adorable.
not.
Yeah.
No, he's
Is he going to do jiu-jitsu?
I don't even know. Probably. He always tries to, like, I'm just sitting down on the floor, like, watching TV or something, and he'll just, like, jump on me and try to choke me.
Imagine that. That's so weird.
I wonder where he would get that from.
So do you guys take him with you when you train a lot? I know he comes with you when you visit
Yeah.
California. But
Because my mom is, like, busy sometimes, we always take him, like, on the weekends to the gym and stuff, and he'll just, like, play, or sometimes he'll, like, try and run on the mat, and he'll just, like, sit on the side.
your parents are super supportive of you doing this. Do they ever make you do it, or is this like you're like, let's go, it's time to train?
Most of the time.
You have your days where you're
Yeah.
just like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Everyone has their days. Like that's
Sure,
my
yeah.
mom did the
Of
same
course.
thing. Her parents did. I just ended up doing the nerdier route and going to a video camp, essentially.
Video camp.
essentially.
Like video games? Or
No, it was
Wait,
like,
is that just a camp where a whole bunch of kids are sitting like in a room?
That's what I'm thinking.
I
like
wish. Oh no, it was like a.
with a TV like that.
It was even nerdier. It was like an arts camp, but I went and I did all the video production classes. But yeah, as a kid, I remember 13. So you're in middle school, or
Yeah.
are you in high school? Okay, yeah. You want to come home during the summer and after school and do nothing.
Right.
Like when I was at that age, you probably don't even have it anymore. Instant Messenger, like AOL Instant Messenger.
She doesn't know what that is.
that?
She does not know what that is. It was an early form of texting, but you had to do it on the computer.
You needed to have the internet and
Yeah, you had to be on your computer, and you could send instant
on a
messages
big
to each
giant
other.
computer too, with like a tower and stuff.
It was before you could talk to each other like text on your phone.
Like your dad doesn't even have my
It was
phone
like
number
dinosaurs.
and somehow called
so
me.
the dinosaurs used to get on AOL and text each other.
The dinosaur.
And guess what? The dinosaurs. If one dinosaur was on the phone, then we
That's
couldn't get
true.
on Instant Messenger.
It's true because you needed your phone line. You needed your land phone line to get online, and it would take forever, and it'd make this crazy sound.
Oh
It'd be
my
like,
god, the sound.
and then it would take forever. And if you wanted to download like a picture, it would take like 10 minutes, and you would just see like little pieces of it
Pixelated,
showing.
like
Look at her face right now. She's like, what
she
are you
has
guys?
no idea what.
Wait,
the
have
fuck
you
we're
always
talking about
had?
right now.
Have you always had a smartphone?
No, I just got it when I was, like, I was going to, like, 7th grade.
Well, that was probably her first phone
Right.
ever.
That's what I'm
Was-
saying. Your first phone ever was a smartphone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What year were you born?
2002.
I don't even know what to do with that.
well out of high school. Well out of high
I
school.
could be your mom.
It's true.
Yeah.
You're my brother's age.
How do you feel?
when's your
Because
birthday?
you must be
That-
you must
my
get this a
brother's-
lot. Because I know when I moved out here, everyone was like, "Oh, you're so young." Like when you're around all these jiu-jitsu tournaments, around UFC fighters who are competing or whatever they are, the top jiu-jitsu people. Do people like, "Oh, you're so young," and like, does it feel weird? Do you ever be like, "Oh, I'm not that young. I'm good. Like I can do this," or like,
Are
what
you
is?
ever like, I can kick your ass though?
Sometimes.
But you're around a lot of adults.
Yeah.
By now she's used to it. I mean,
Yeah.
6 years into it, you're kind of just what
You
to
hang out with.
expect.
I mean, you come and train with us, and you'll be the only kid in a class full of adults. So
Yeah.
you must be used to it, right?
Yeah. And, like, at the gym back home, too, in the adults class, it's either, like, me and, like, maybe one or two friends.
Is
that
there
are,
other
like, my
is there
age.
other women there or other girls?
Yeah, there's women.
Where do you train in Houston?
Oh, grand rollers.
Grand rollers.
Yeah.
Ground dwellers.
Ground dwellers.
Ground
are-
rollers is good though.
I was like, hey,
really
that's a
good.
cool name.
Works.
Do you ever train in the gi or all no gi?
We're trying to get back into the gi so that we don't, like, lose touch of it. So.
All right.
Very nice.
What do they think of you training with 10th Planet so much?
Oh, my coach is really open-minded to it. Like, he loves 10 Planet, so.
Good.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I guess you'd have to since you were basically
Yeah.
a 10th Planet representative.
How did you get discovered? And I'm sorry if the listeners know this already, but if you're not in the 10th Planet system, how did you start doing all these?
Oh, that's a
UBIs?
good question. How did Eddie find you? Or how did you find Eddie?
Oh, me and my dad, we were working one summer. I forgot when it was. Maybe it was, like, a few years ago. All we did was, like, train that one summer, and he was just trying to find, like, a bunch of techniques that was worked for me. And he just found, like, like, some rubber guard stuff. At first, like, like, I couldn't get my flexibility down, so we, like, skipped that. And then eventually we got that up, and then we worked on it again. And then we just kept with like Eddie's stuff, and then I guess he just like found like my videos and stuff.
Because your dad, I remember when a video of you went viral, and it was a compilation of several competitions,
the
and you were
10-year-old
triangle,
one?
yeah,
Yeah.
and you were triangling a bunch of people, which is where you got your nickname, the Triangle Queen, right? So is that how you and Eddie started communicating?
I guess that's when like
How long
Okay.
have you been with Eddie? How long have you been with Eddie? Or like training under him?
I
Do you remember?
don't even know.
When was the first time you came out to visit us at HQ?
I don't even know. It was like a long time ago.
Sometime
3 years ago.
Sometime in the last 6 years.
Yes.
Or 4 if she's already been
Wow.
competing. So
I think it was like maybe 3 years ago.
That sounds about right.
what is triangle your favorite move? Submission?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you like?
Ankle locks now.
She's
How
got a
dare
nasty
you. How
ankle
dare
lock.
you.
Yeah.
That's dirty. That's dirty. Don't do
Straight
those.
ankle locks aren't dirty.
Don't do those. They're bad for your health.
Becky's looking at you like every week. It's a new look for Becky. This week it's like she's almost like looking at you like a mother, like an older sister / mother.
Because she is like a little sister.
It's true.
I know, but you just look so happy. You're just like, don't do those. They look down on you.
It's unhealthy.
You don't like
I'm
ankle locks aren't good. I don't know. You tell me.
I'm trolling you right now.
Oh, God damn it!
I'm trolling.
See,
I'm trying to troll the world right now.
how dare
There's
you?
much
Don't
controversy
don't
over
do
ankle locks.
Don't do foot locks. They're bad, unhealthy, awful.
They
Unfair.
are.
Prison rules. I heard them.
So, Cora, everybody can see you at EBI 7 on July 16th in your super fight, right? On UFC Fight Pass. Is that cool to see yourself on that?
Yeah.
You want to make any predictions for us?
It doesn't have to be on your super fight. It could just be on EBI. In
Do you
general.
do you have any thoughts on anybody else competing?
Anybody you're looking forward to seeing?
I want to see my friend Jasmine Johnson. She's gonna do good. I want to see her fight.
Who's she matching up with?
Danielle Garcia.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I think it's gonna be a good fight.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well,
You're-
thank you. What?
Yeah, you're very to the point. You're like,
She is.
I'm just ready to fight.
Cora's
Let's go.
like, let's do this.
If they said let's do it now, would you be ready? Would you just do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I get so anxious. Like even for tournaments, they'll have like a long wait, and I'm just like, oh, can I hurry up already?
Can it just happen now? Just give me her ankle.
do this.
Just give me her ankle now.
Well, we'll all be there cheering for you. We can't wait to see you. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. We're going to have Drew jump on the mic now.
Thanks, Triangle Queen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my
Kisses.
Loves and kisses.
Drew, jump on that mic.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, in the house.
We need some music.
We should. We need like the transition music.
All right.
we can have the maraca.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. What's up, guys?
Andrew Murillo.
Yay.
Do you like Drew or do you like Andrew?
So throughout the
Oh, there's a
jiu-jitsu
story to this.
community and in the gym, my friends call me Drew. So
Right.
you guys can call me
Feel
Drew.
free to talk into the mic.
Please join us.
Testing 1 2. Testing. Okay. Yeah. So at the gym they call me Drew. My friends call me Drew. So
I call you Drew.
yeah.
We
I
call
call
you
you,
Drew.
we call you Drew, but I didn't know if, like formally.
Yeah.
What would you prefer to be?
You're good. Drew's good.
Do you sign Drew or do you sign Andrew?
I sign Andrew.
I do the same thing. I sign
It's my,
Rebecca.
well, it's my legal,
What?
legal
Really?
name.
That's my legal name.
Where were we that I was like, who's Rebecca? Somebody told you. Where were we? Do you remember that?
Bowling or something.
At the
Something,
gym?
and they were like something.
There's
something
one person at
Rebecca,
the-
and I was like, who is that?
Well, there's one person at the gym that lately likes to call me Rebecca. He's like, I like Rebecca better. I'm like, okay, whatever.
All right. I'd be like, but who are you talking to?
I like Bex. I call her
there-
Bex.
I call her Bex. I call her Beckford. She hates it.
It's weird. But I love you, so I let you.
Right. Drew,
What up,
Yes.
Drew?
tell the people at home who you are.
So I am a purple belt in the 10th Planet System under Alder Hampel.
Alder.
Black belt under Eddie Bravo. I've been training jiu-jitsu about 5 years. I compete a lot. Just got my purple belt about a year ago, so I've been really kind of just trying to grow into that and compete a lot in the division and see what I can do. And
This year alone, how many times have you competed?
10. I've done 10 competitions so far.
And it's July.
I know.
It's July. This weekend will be 11. I'll
Nice.
do the American Nogi National IBJJF, which is at the UFC Fan Expo in Las Vegas. Apparently, Grappler's Quest is out. I don't know. That's kind of
Interesting.
news to me. Yeah, because they were doing it for a few years.
Yeah, they were there for a long time.
So now
I wonder
it's-
if it was a contract thing that just like time was up. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm sure.
But so now it's an IBJJF tournament. So
Oh,
So are you
So no
compete-
footlocks,
Are you competing
right?
for fun, or is it professional? Like, what is the motivation?
the motivation is one, I just want to become the best jiu-jitsu player that I can be, and I feel like competition is a big part of growth within jiu-jitsu. The experience is huge. And you can fight as many guys in the gym as you want, but it's never going to be like 100% like it is in a tournament,
Right.
So it's super beneficial for your growth as a jiu-jitsu player. Also, I mean, I just want to kind of test myself and challenge myself and see, what I can really do, what I'm capable of.
That's one of the things about jiu-jitsu is it's not an inexpensive hobby.
No,
And
It's
that's
not.
it's hobby sounds disrespectful. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to come off like that. But if you're not doing it professionally, it's a certain point. It's
yeah.
it's an exercise. It's a sport. Whatever.
Yeah.
But to go to Las Vegas and put yourself up, it's a different level of
It's a commitment. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a commitment. I think
He's
and
in
I
a committed
don't
relationship
take-
with jiu-jitsu.
I am. I don't take offense to that at all. I think everybody starts jiu-jitsu as a hobbyist, right? Everybody starts as a white belt, and nobody has any idea what to really expect other than what they hear or see. And then you experience it, and you're like, okay, now there's this
You're
thing.
like, I'm in.
Yeah, then you're in, and then you start to like it, and then it's like, oh shoot, I've got my blue belt. Like things are getting pretty serious, right?
I think this
So
might be something.
What is your journey? How did you come to jiu-jitsu?
Oh man! All right. So full disclosure,
Please.
Oh my.
So, as a young adult, I didn't make the best. I used to make a lot of poor life choices. And I got to a point where I was just enough was enough. I think that's the thought that goes through everybody's mind before they make this big like life change, right? So for me, it was a lot of substance
Saints have fallen.
abuse and partying, and I just used to be up to no good, And one day enough was enough, and I reached out to a friend of mine. His name's Will Kang, and he was training with Alder at the time, and I was just like, I know you like exercise and do, diet, and you're on it, man, and like I really need this big change in my life. Help me. And he was like, okay, put on a pair of board shorts and a t-shirt and meet me at this address at this time or whatever. And, I did, and I met him, and I was there, and it was Alder Hampel School, and I started training, and the big motivation for me was so I was 27 years old. I was about 230 pounds, and I'd been in some bar brawls before, and I'd been in like schoolyard fights and stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm a grown man. I can handle myself.
Nope.
So the big motivation was when these two 16-year-olds, about 120 pounds, were literally just
So basically, Cora.
They were
Yeah.
wrapping their pretty much. They were wrapping their legs around my head and just making me basically tap out, beg for my life, basically. So I'm like, okay, I need to learn this. There's something to this. So I kept going back, getting beat up for as long as it took until I could get the hang of things, and then I just fell in love.
And it's been 6 years?
It's been about 5 years.
5 years.
It's been about 5 years. Yeah.
And this year you made the jump to you are doing jiu-jitsu full-time. You're
Full-time.
teaching, you're competing. You might be working with me on some projects.
Exciting stuff. So, I had a pretty decent job, and I was doing sales and stuff like that, and I was building my career over about 5 or 6 years. And some things happened. I switched jobs and moved around, and in between it all, I always kept training. That was the only thing consistent in my life was training in the gym. And I started teaching. I teach fundamentals. I was teaching kids, and I'm head over heels in love with jiu-jitsu. I love what I do there, and it was so satisfying. So I started to think about it, and I'm like, man, this is, there's nothing better than this in my life right now, right?
Right.
And like, you only get so many opportunities to really just go after your dreams,
Okay.
So I was kind of in the situation where I kind
You
of
had an Eminem moment.
I had some leeway where I could kind of just switch everything, you know? So I did, and I've been doing it for about 6 months. I've been doing jiu-jitsu full time, and it's been amazing. I do jiu-jitsu every day.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
I love
awesome.
it.
So you started a couple of years ago doing jiu-jitsu at the beach.
I did. So shout out to LA Jiu-Jitsu Club.
Yep.
What up, guys?
I love those guys, and I was working with them, and I hang out with them, and they're local to us, so they would come to our open mat and stuff, and that's how I met them. And I always had this idea to just, well, at first, like by myself with a few students, I bought this like 10 by 10 puzzle piece mats. We brought them to the park, and we were just like chilling outside doing jiu-jitsu, barbecuing, and like doing our thing.
That sounds
That
great.
sounds
It
like
was
awesome,
I
right?
would love to
That's
do
like-
jiu-jitsu in the park.
It was so awesome,
Yeah.
right? And it wasn't like
We
this
know of
big
several events
thing.
to do that. You're welcome to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't this big thing. It was like, 8 of us, and we were just chilling,
That's cool.
barbecuing. We had so much fun, and I was like, man, this would be so awesome at the beach. We got to do this. So I got with them. I was talking about it with them, and they started promoting it, and I started promoting it. And my whole idea was, I don't want to make money. I don't want anything from anybody. I want everybody to come together and collectively make this awesome experience together, right? Like, it's not my event. It's our event. So it was like a potluck thing, and everybody would come and
You
bring
just set the
something.
date and
I
made the
just
little
set
event thing.
That's it. Pick the spot, and that was it. And then everybody brought something. People brought mats. People brought food. Good vibes. It was amazing. So that was cool, and we got about 50-ish people to come to our first one. And then you know how Facebook will tell you like, hey, a year ago you did this, right? So that came up.
And all of us were like, we need to do this again. This
Exactly,
was so much
exactly.
fun.
People-
Drew!
Everybody hit me up. So I was like, all right, like, let's make it bigger. All right, let's do it more official.
And you wasted no time. You were just like,
I was
all
on
right,
it.
2 weeks from now.
I was on it. I got with the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club guys again, and we put it on, and this time we had a good, like, 70, 80 people come out.
It was a good
You know, it was huge, and that's where Dawna came, and she approached me, and she was like, hey, we're doing this thing, and I want you to help me do this other thing. And I was like, dude, let's do it. I'm in. Yeah.
This thing and some stuff.
Yeah, it was
and
awesome.
some,
I don't know.
We became friends. Can I tell how we knew each other through just 10th Planet and
Right.
like seeing each other. And this is how awesome the jiu-jitsu community is, and like what an amazing family it is. It was Christmas Eve, and we had to go to a family thing, and I was like, hey, I just put it on Facebook. Does anybody not celebrate Christmas that would maybe want to hang out with my dogs tonight? And Drew was like, I'll do it. And I was like, oh, that's super cool of you. And then my uncle had a heart attack that morning. And I called him, and I was crying. And I was like, Drew, is there any way that you can come earlier? My uncle had a heart attack. We have to go to the hospital. And he was like, I'm on my way. And he showed up, and we got to the hospital in time to say goodbye to my uncle. So that is how Drew and I became friends.
Aw, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He showed up, and he was like, go. And he hung out with my dogs on Christmas Eve, and we got to go say goodbye to my uncle.
That's such. Oh.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'm happy I was able to do that for you.
And that's how we became friends. And now I'm like,
That's
I
so
love Drew.
That's so sweet. I love it.
Yeah, he was awesome. And then so we talked about it a little bit last week. Mat Therapy is it's a jiu-jitsu culture collective that we are creating, and it's a podcast, and it's going to be a clothing line. We might have a Cora Sek rash guard coming out. And so I was like, we need to do events. Obviously, Drew's the dude. So at Jiu-Jitsu at the beach, I was like, hey, I need to talk to you about something.
That
What do
worked
you
out well
think?
because he
Yeah.
wanted to put
I've been-
together
so-
like a tournament.
I've been looking to do a tournament for, I don't know, a few months. Like, I was talking about it with Alder, and we were going to do an in-house because there's not really a lot of things in our area, like in the Valley area.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do like a small little like $25 tournament or something. So we were already kind of starting to plan it. So you approached me at the perfect time, and it's like I'm already in it. And
I know you're like, yeah, let's do
I'm
this.
into it, dude. Let's do it. EBI rules, sub only. It's gonna be amazing.
So then our first event is the day after EBI. Tell everybody about it.
The day after EBI, we're gonna do Mat Therapy Presents Jiu-Jitsu Beach Party. It's gonna be in Santa Monica.
See, you can come to that.
So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yep.
everybody's welcome, whether you train or don't train, gi, no gi, everybody's welcome. Bring, yourself, bring a smile. It's a picnic style event, bring some food or whatever and come hang out.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. And that's kind of where we plan to introduce the date of the tournament. And that'll be in September. We can do it now. It'll be in September. We're looking at the 18th.
We're looking at the 18th. We're looking in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So yesterday we went. We've kind of now spoiled our stuff. We found this awesome location downtown. Like when I say it's badass, like somebody took like this cluster of warehouses and put all this like awesome mural art on the wall and like just created this. I'm not going to say the name because I'm created this like awesome event space, and I was like, Drew, you got to see this. Come see it. So after jiu-jitsu yesterday, we went and saw it, and we were thinking, okay, it's probably going to be a little expensive, but nothing ridiculous, right? And the guys were like, yeah, if you want to rent the space out for the day, it's $6,500. And we were like, what?
Kind of ridiculous, yeah.
6,500. We're not filming a movie. We want to put mats on the ground and let people roll around and get sweaty. And they were like $6,500. We were
It was
like,
a
no.
beautiful space, though.
It sounds similar to that place that we
To the
looked
other
at a
place
few
we
weeks
went,
ago, like a
right.
cluster of buildings and the murals.
There's a
and
lot
stuff,
of them in
but-
downtown LA.
Yeah.
That just seems slightly
And
expensive.
that's kind of
Little bit.
what we're gonna go for. We want to create experience.
We do.
I want people to walk in and look around and be like, "Whoa, this is freaking awesome!" You
Right.
know, and that's my whole thing. I want every event I do to be like that.
We want it to be cool and different and an experience that, not that every other tournament out there isn't awesome. You know what I mean?
right.
We all love
Sure.
going to compete. We all love being in the community. We all love
But how can you
supporting
be
each
different?
other.
How can
many
we stand
times-
out?
How many times have you been in a tournament and have to wait
Right.
and it's just boring? There's nothing else going on. You're trying to stay warm. You're trying to you're in your headphones, and then you invite all your friends and family to come watch you, and they're bored out of their freaking mind. They don't really know what's going on. So I want to have a lot of interactive things for spectators.
Yeah.
As well as make it really comfortable for the athlete. We really want to focus on the athlete, and I'm really big on aesthetics. So I want you to be able to just be happy wherever you're at in this place, because you might have to spend a long time there. So,
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. We're going to figure it out.
yeah, it's
We're going to find a
great.
place that's not $6,500 for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the the venue's to be determined, but it's definitely happening, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be awesome. So come
gonna be
check
cool.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Are you going to compete, Donna?
I will. I'm always down to compete. I'm not really good at signing up beforehand, but then I get to a tournament and I'm always like, I'll do it. Yeah. Like, I was working at Gracie Nationals and some girl on the gi division was like, only one purple belt lady showed up that day. And she was not comfortable going down to compete with blue belts. She was like, my coach wouldn't be cool with that. I'm not really cool with that. I was like, I totally respect that. I may have been a little hungover, and I warned her. I was like, I'm a purple belt. I'm a little heavier than you, but I'm hungover. So if you want to, if you want to match, I'll give it to you. And she was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, just be warned. I told you. We'd gone out the night before. I think I was with you.
You're blaming me?
No, I'm not blaming you, but we were at Block Party.
Oh, I remember going there.
Yes. So then the next day was Gracie Nationals, and I was like, a little bit of wine last night. So then I gave this girl a match, and it was awesome. And she, I don't know, we went for like 3 or 4 minutes, and she caught me in an armbar.
All right. All right.
Yeah. But I'm always down. In your competition, I walked in, and I was like, hey, Russ, you got anybody for me? And he was like, no.
See, so that's another issue I kind of want to address, right? Because it's hard for women to find matches sometimes. It's hard to build divisions for women. So we want to offer an extra incentive to build that division. So we're going to give them almost half off.
Yeah, the ladies are going to be pretty cheap to join this competition.
And we're going to hook you guys
The
up.
price is going to be cheap for the ladies to join this competition, Becky.
I like that you had to finish it. The ladies are going to be pretty cheap
Yeah.
to join this competition.
So that's another thing we're working on.
The cost for the ladies.
Cost for
Yes.
ladies will definitely be majorly discounted so we can build that division.
Yeah, we
Make sure
we
you guys
want
have plenty of fights.
as many women to join as possible. We've talked about this before. It's awesome to be able to empower women and have ladies who we are the minority in the sport. It's growing, definitely, but we're still the minority in the sport, and anything that we can do to help get more women competing, get more women participating in the community, that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. As well as just people to introduce them to jiu-jitsu as well, just anybody.
Anybody.
We want to help build the sport.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. So speaking of, you mentioned that girl did not want to go down a belt.
Oh, look at the segue. That's good. That is good, Becky. I am impressed.
Are you proud of me?
I'm so
Queen
proud
of
of you.
segues.
I'm working on
the
that.
segue queen.
I'm working on that.
Set it up, Becky. Go.
Well, you have the information there.
I do.
So,
I don't know if I know how
But
to
someone
pronounce
recently demoted himself from black belt to purple belt.
Purple belt.
Yeah, Ensign Ino, who he's been training for 18 years, and he received his black belt under John Lewis, but he stopped training about 10 years ago and just started retraining and felt that the sport has evolved past his
Past his
experience
knowledge
level
or
and his
where
knowledge.
his-
So
yeah.
he demoted himself to purple belt, and of course the internet exploded because
Exploded.
everybody has an opinion on everything.
Duh.
What are yours?
Faux outrage. That's faux outrage.
We haven't talked about faux outrage
I
in so
know.
long.
There it is. There was a lot of faux outrage.
Faux outrage. Opinions, please.
Opinions? I don't think there's anything wrong with why he did that and him doing that. There's what?
The only question I would have is for you guys, because I was with two jiu-jitsu people last night, and they were talking about it. And what they said is that they found it disrespectful to the person who gave them the belt.
Sure. So that's the big controversy, right?
Right.
Like, sorry, that's the big controversy, right? Like, is it disrespectful to your sensei who awarded you this rank, right? So I watched a video that he posted. I think it was this morning or something, and he reached out to John and let him know.
I was
like,
wondering if he's
this is what I'm doing. This is why. He said that John didn't necessarily like approve, like he wasn't happy about it, but he gave him his blessing on it.
Well,
He
if
said,
the
well, this is your journey,
Yeah.
and that's what Ensign said, and that's kind of why I respect him so much, because it made sense to me. Like, jiu-jitsu is your personal journey.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to disrespect my instructor, but he literally spent 10 years doing absolutely nothing related to martial arts.
really
Right.
Nothing.
did he say why he stopped training?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall whether he talked about why, but he definitely spent a very large amount of time not training at all. The reason he started back up is because his girlfriend started training and he wanted to share that journey with her. And then, so he started training wearing his black belt. And then it just, he said he did, he trains with Purebred amongst other academies, which is like a really prominent academy on Guam. Shout out to Guam. But he said he took the beginner's class and he had no idea of any of the things that they were doing. They were doing Del Hiva guard, they were doing spider guard, and all these things are relatively new, right? Like a lot of these things have only developed within the past maybe like 6 years.
Well, definitely within the last 10 years,
Yeah,
and that's when he stopped training.
Exactly. So I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know, when you look at it from that aspect. But you know, I think the fact that he cleared it with his coach and like,
Yeah.
I think that's
You
the
know.
that would be the only thing that people could argue. But if he has the blessing
Yeah.
of the person who awarded him his black belt, I think that speaks to his character.
I think
because
so,
he could
too.
continue to wear his black belt and up his level, but he's challenging himself. I know.
absolutely. And-
Brent Littell, who you guys know, right?
Right,
He's a
absolutely.
10th Planet
Yeah,
black
he's a
belt.
good friend of my coach.
He's a good friend of most old school people in 10th Planet. We all love you, Brent. Brent was a 10th Planet black belt, and then he went and started retraining in the gi, and then he didn't like renounce his black belt, but he took a purple in the
blue belt.
gi.
Blue belt.
Did he?
Yeah, he went
okay,
all the
he
way
went
back
all the way
down
back
to
to
blue.
blue, and then earned
Went to
back
black.
up to his black belt.
Through
But
Baja.
he still said, "I'm a no gi black belt, and I'm earning my gi."
Some people keep it
God.
completely separate.
I think that
Some
just-
people don't, and
Yeah.
that's
Some
fine
people
too.
don't.
I
It's-
mean,
It's
but-
an individual thing, and I think it speaks to character, and it speaks to, as long as you have the blessing of your coach, and you're not saying this black belt is not,
Pertains.
valid.
Yeah.
He's not saying that at all. I'm talking about Ensign specifically.
Right.
He's not saying it's not valid. He's saying the sport has evolved past where
that's my knowledge.
yeah, I'm at, and so I need to step up my game to be in the sport where it is now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And his actions are honorable,
For sure.
right? So, I mean, that I respect as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand where that first thought comes up of the disrespect thing, and that was my first thought. I bet
That
you
was my
any-
first thought,
I
too.
mean, without even, I didn't really read in at the time into it. I didn't have a chance to, but that was my first thought. I bet you he probably talked to his coach or whoever
You would
gave him
have
his
to,
black
'cause that's
belt
where-
and say,
You
hey,
could be like,
this
"Well,
is my thought,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
What were the guys that you were hanging out with last night saying?
We talked about it just for a second, and they found it disrespectful. They just found that
Did they know that John had given
like
his
he gave you-
blessing?
we didn't talk about that. So no, that.
do these people train?
But yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
The question I have is when you say you cleared it with John, what is he really supposed to say? Like, so that's you're putting him in kind of a hard place.
Sure, but he could say, "Hey,
But he
I
can be
gave
like,
you this
"Hell
rank.
no."
That's
Right.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
I don't
you
appreciate you
could
doing something
straight
like
up
that."
say it.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, you feel like he would actually, because like
Absolutely.
sometimes like not even in jiu-jitsu, like if you ask somebody like, "Hey, was that a fun date?" They're like, "Yeah, we had a great time," just because they don't
That's
want
not
to say
the
it to your
same.
face.
Awarding
I think-
somebody a black belt is at least in our world, is a huge
It's a big-
moment.
it's a
and
big
it's
deal.
a big deal. So I feel like, and I don't know, maybe we can ask Eddie when he comes on.
Yeah.
Or we can ask any master that we can get a hold of. I would think it depends on how the person approaches it. Like if you know, Drew gave me a black belt and I called him, I'm like, yeah, what up, dude? I don't really think that I'm a black belt, so I'm going to be a purple belt now. That might not be the best way to handle it. But if you
Right.
go to your master respectfully and you're like, here's the deal.
It's also the situation. It wasn't like he
Yeah.
had been training and then
It's not like he
all of a
just
sudden
got handed a
he got
black belt,
smoked by a
right.
purple belt or brown belt and was like, "No, dude, I gotta go
threw-
back."
threw his
It
black
was
belt in the
like
trash.
He literally took 10 years off. Like it
Yeah.
takes people 10 years to get from white to black.
He took more time off than most of us have been training.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean,
And I think it says, I mean, it does say a lot about their characters. Both
Mm-hmm.
of them were able, both Ensign and his coach were able to set their egos aside and
Right.
and
Just think about what a beast he's going to be.
when he comes
you know
back. Yeah, I mean, he's a monster.
As long
fought
as he doesn't
Pride.
compete, like I probably wouldn't agree with him competing.
at that level.
I saw a post he put up
Yeah.
today that said he's not going to compete.
See,
He's
that
not, yeah,
I
he's not
I
going to compete
respect.
as a purple belt. He won't compete again if he decides to ever compete again until he gets that black belt. I mean, he's not an amateur.
he's
Like,
not
he
sandbagging.
fought Pride. He beat Randy Couture. He fought Frank Shamrock. Like he's pretty decorated as far as a well-rounded martial artist. But with that long of an interval between training, I mean, there's definitely some things you have to shape up. Now, I don't know if me personally, if I would try and renounce my rank like that, but I do respect where he's coming from. And he said that he didn't feel in his spirit that was right, and that really resonated with me.
I don't know if
I think
it's
it's-
renouncing. That's a weird
Kinda
phrasing of it.
Self-demotion.
It's a weird phrasing of it, or just saying, "Look, I need to earn my way back up through the
Yeah.
ranks."
The ladder,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, we wouldn't really know until we actually experienced it. Right now,
Right.
you can't imagine taking 10 years off of jiu-jitsu.
Definitely not.
So
I can't take.
it's
10
hard
days
to
off.
really put yourself in his shoes and think, what would I do if I was in that case? You can't even think about taking a week off jiu-jitsu right,
Right.
now.
Definitely.
Speaking of, like not necessarily bad or rude, but just even though I'm excited for the fight, what are your guys' opinion on Brock Lesnar fighting? It's kind of weird.
Well, that's what Donna thinks.
Yeah, I'm excited for the fight. It's gonna be an entertaining fight. And then also, well, I'll Brock Lesnar, but then I have a second UFC 200 question after.
Okay, you guys can. I think I made my opinion of
I
it.
feel like Brock's had his day. He's come and gone, and now he's coming back, and it's not a fight that I'm really excited for.
Really? Okay, I'm
But-
excited to see it
You know,
because he's.
I'm excited to see Mark Hunt. Oh.
You think Mark Hunt's gonna win?
I think so.
And my thought is, what's your other question?
Let's see. Here, because I'm looking here. Let me just find the name of him.
That
It's
card is
really the only
Yeah, it's a
one
good
that I
card.
don't really understand is
Like,
Sage
ridiculous.
Northcutt getting on.
Um,
Like like just looking at Miller and Gomi and freaking Sanchez and Lozon are on Fight Pass, and then Northcutt, who is entertaining, is the first FS1 fight. Like it just seems like if like this is like the biggest card, you couldn't find anyone other than Northcutt and Marin. Like I don't even know who Marin is. Like I'm sure he's good,
they
but
could have put Alan Juban.
yeah, like they have like
Well.
look at all the fight. Look at all the fights they have this weekend. They have like on Thursday they have Dos Anjos versus Alvarez,
Right.
And
Oh,
That's
God.
Nelson
Let's talk
versus-
about...
That's pretty good.
No,
Oh.
I think
I think that
the
might
three
be my
next cards.
That
coming
might be
up
my
are
favorite of
so
that entire
good.
card.
I think the three next cards coming up are like amazing. Have you?
I'm so
I
excited
haven't
for
seen
tomorrow
what's happening
night.
past 200.
Well,
Oh,
there's a fight tomorrow.
Okay.
and
That's
Saturday,
Dos Anjos
Friday.
and Alvarez.
That's right.
Give us
That's
the
right.
give us
Okay.
the lineup for tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow, I'm not a huge fan, so I'm just gonna. Do you want me to go just from the main event?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
these are everyone I know. There's a bunch of fights, but the main is Pyle versus Mina or Mina, maybe.
Mena?
Mena. Duffy versus Clark. Juban versus
Woo,
Muhammad.
woo,
Yeah. Joe Bond.
And Nelson versus Lewis, which is
Yes.
should be exciting.
Yeah,
then
that's gonna be good.
Dos
That'll be good.
Anjos versus Alvarez.
I just like when he
Awesome.
jumps up on the fence and rubs his belly.
Big Country.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Alan? Alan does that?
I'm a fan. I've
Roy
been a fan of
Nelson.
Big Country for a long time.
Yeah, Big Country's awesome.
And then on Saturday, there's Pearson versus Brooks. It's the Ultimate Fighter finale. So there's
Right.
Pearson versus Brooks, and then there's Georgietic versus
Oh,
Gathella.
Georgietic.
you say it so
Georgietic.
much better than I do.
Your Jess chick. It's your Jess chick.
Georgietic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
That one. And then
Versus Gadea.
I think everyone knows 200, which should be crazy. But it's
200
so
is
good.
So it's just stupid.
These
how
are
stacked.
awesome
Yeah.
fights coming up.
Like from the first fight at the beginning of the night, it's like
yeah, the only
It's
one
just-
that doesn't make sense is the Sage Northcutt one, and I find it
you're
entertaining.
really
Okay, so-
you're really bothered by that
But
one.
you know, so if you
just come
if
off
you
of
pay
loss.
attention to the UFC, they
Hype.
get hype, but they get little favorites.
Oh, yeah,
like
of course.
there's so many memes going about it. You can't, like, around that you can't ignore it. Like they love that blonde all American. They
or Irish.
or whatever they but.
I mean,
It's-
let's be honest, right? They like people that are marketable. They,
Right.
Exactly.
And Sage, looks wise, is marketable. And maybe his skill is not, his striking skill is pretty good, but his ground skill isn't at the level it needs to be by any means.
No. And then why? I mean, obviously she got knocked out, but why isn't Ronda anywhere?
She might not be ready to
She's
fight
not
yet.
ready.
I heard she doesn't want to fight.
Really?
You know,
Whatever the
we've
story is,
talked
they've been
about that
talking about
before,
end
yeah.
of the year. So
Yeah,
we're
we've
not there
talked
yet.
about that before. She might not be able to come back mentally. I think she will personally,
that's-
but
and
there's
that's
a
what it
lot
is
of
mentally.
talk.
I think she's capable
that-
of it
yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah, physically she's capable
Didn't
of
she
it,
do
no
that
doubt.
with her judo career? Like, didn't she like take like a string of really bad losses and just
Really?
not
No,
come
I didn't know
back?
that.
I don't know.
I heard something like that.
Huh.
I have no idea. If they can get her back, they will. Obviously,
Yeah.
Maybe she's just not ready yet. I'm super excited to see Misha.
Didn't she just kind of start?
defend her title?
Misha,
I'm
that'll
really
be a
glad
good
that
fight.
she has it, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to
And
watch her
then
defend it.
Juliana Pena's on that same card, right?
Yep.
No,
Mm-hmm.
versus
Good.
Kat Zingano.
Kat
That's
Zingano.
gonna be
That's
such
That'll
a
be
sick.
good fight. Oh, stoked
Yeah.
for that.
Cat
be
came
fun.
back good.
Dude,
Wow.
Cat's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love
Oh,
Cat.
but Dos Anjos
and the
Alvarez, though.
Gadea
I
and
just wanna
your
keep
Jess
saying
chick.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be just a barn burner. I think that's gonna be such a cool fight.
Are these all 200 ones?
No, this is the Ultimate Fighter finale.
Oh.
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
So we have fights tomorrow night.
So Friday,
We have fight night tomorrow night. We have
Thursday.
two FC.
200.
2
You went
FCs on.
200. 200 on Saturday,
So
and
that
then we
must be
also
Sunday?
have the
Tough finale.
tough finale.
Sunday.
That's on Sunday, right?
Friday.
Or Friday.
Oh, Friday.
So,
So Thursday,
Thursday,
Friday,
Friday, and
Saturday.
Saturday. Holy shit.
Badass.
I'm gonna be in Las Vegas, so that'll be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
yeah, I
shit.
don't think I'm gonna get to go to the fight, but just being there will be.
Does it?
There's
Isn't
still-
it
never know.
blacked out?
You
No,
never
there's
know
still
what
tickets
could
available.
happen.
There's still tons.
To 200?
There's still tons. I saw an article yesterday that there's tons of tickets
You
available.
never know what can happen
You
should go.
while you're
You should
out
go.
there. You never know who you're
But I'll
running
be
into.
at the
or-
UFC Fan Expo, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you please?
Sorry.
Do you guys have any predictions for any of the fights?
Let's look at the card. Well, I think Jones is gonna beat up DC again.
I think he got in DC's head. I didn't up until Jones's last fight, and then DC was doing his commentary. We talked about this,
I'm
didn't we?
over those two.
And I was like, oh, Jones is in DC's head. Yeah.
I'm over those two.
I'd like to see Frankie Edgar win.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like all the hype shit around certain like I'm not into that. So I'm just
But do you have an opinion on who's going to win? Aside from the hype?
a good fight. John Jones, he's fucking good.
I think John
He's
Jones is
good.
going to
Good.
win, but I kind of, even though John Jones is more entertaining and I'd rather see him, I kind of want DC to win. Just
Oh, yeah.
Just for a change.
DC, I don't know. Not that I respect him more, but maybe I do. I don't know.
You respect DC more?
He's a more respectable person, at least. As far as a fan
Character.
of a fighter, I'm definitely more of a John Jones. I mean, John Jones is.
His skill level
Yeah,
is
those
amazing.
elbows.
It could
those
be an entire
elbows that he
card
throws.
of just
Holy
John
fuck.
Jones fights, and people
No,
would
his
watch
skill
it.
level
Yeah,
is
he's
amazing.
entertaining.
He's kind of a douchey bro, though.
Who? John
John Jones. He's a douchey bro. Like,
Yeah.
I just ever since with all the with
How do you really feel?
going back to that WWE stuff, I feel, and I like it, but I feel like the UFC is trying to pretend like it's not doing it. Like the
you mean
whole,
with the hype machine?
not the hype, well, the hype machine, but it's like, okay, DC is gonna do the commentary for this fight, which never happens, and then John Jones is
Right.
just gonna happen to do a middle finger. And the same thing happened with Conor McGregor jumping out of the stage and yelling at what's his name?
Dealing as
Dos Anjos?
No, who's fighting?
Anjos?
Who's
However you say it.
what's his name? Aldo. Didn't he yell at Aldo?
Didn't he
and
snatch
Oh,
his
he
belt
snatched
or
his
something?
belt.
No. After one of McGregor's fights, he jumped out of and was like going at him, but Dana White.
Oh, it's all
security
definitely
was-
contrived. Yeah, that's all definitely
That was one of the
contrived.
press conferences, right?
No. It was literally after his fight. He jumped out of the cage and went over and started yelling at him. But there was a big
in his
security
face and
guard that held
stuff,
him
yeah.
back.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're annoyed that they're not admitting that that's all set up? Or just that they're doing it in the first place?
I think John Jones set that up himself, right? Like
I don't think so.
Again, like the fighters to make the kind of money, especially now with the whole Reebok deal, right? Like they need to hype themselves up. They need to be marketable. Look at Conor McGregor and all the crazy stuff he does, and people love to watch the guy.
I don't love to watch that part of it. I
Do you-
don't
do
give a
you-
flying
do you-
fuck about all that.
Do you want to watch? Do you like him?
I'll watch him fight.
Do you like him as a fighter? Do you want to see him win or lose?
It depends.
Wait,
still wanna
Cora,
see
what'd
it
you
though,
just say? Nope. You don't want to see McGregor fight or win?
Win.
You don't like him.
Right, but you still want to see him fight.
Cora
right?
has an opinion. And she
You
does
still want
not
to see,
like-
or you want to see him get beat up, right? See?
Here's the thing. I love the hype machine. I think McGregor's entertaining. I'm not emotionally invested in any of the sports, so I'm just a fan.
Yeah, there's
I
that
li-
part of it.
I
I
like
don't
it.
care if he wins or loses.
I like it, but admit it. Don't like. Okay, I don't. The reason I don't think that John Jones did that, they never have cameras out there that are showing up and zooming in and they have the reverse angle on John Jones doing it. There's no way, and I get it. They just sold it for $4 billion. They did a good job,
Right.
But, and that's part of the reason what got me thinking about Lesnar coming in. I'm like, yeah, he was great. He was great in the UFC, but
What did
everyone-
we say? He's great?
I don't know. He was a champ. Oh, you have to at least give him that. He beat Frank Mir. He beat a couple other people.
Okay.
I feel like, because I used to wrestle in high school, and I always used to get the jokes, oh, it's WWE. And I feel like MMA and martial arts have tried to separate themselves from it, and I feel like they're making a mistake. I feel like it's good now to kind of mix the two.
I think they
I
do.
think-
But
I think
it's going to
UFC
be
it's
bad.
obvious that they
I
do.
think UFC is more like WWE now than it ever has
I
been.
agree. I think
Yeah.
it's obvious
Yeah.
that they do.
And I see what you're saying, how like it looks like the UFC set it up, and that might be. Like I don't know for sure.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I think the way the system's set up, I think any fighter that wants to make themselves like as valuable as possible should be doing crazy stuff
absolutely.
like that,
Fuck
right?
yeah.
Like you want to
Well,
be
you
looked
have
at.
to. The
You have to
bigger you
stand
get,
out.
the
You have to
more
stand
you
out.
have to do. It's the NFL. Like the bigger the UFC is it. They are the only. You can say
They're
it's a
the
league.
the biggest.
They're the
promotion.
biggest promotion, and the
Bellator's
bigger you
coming up,
get,
though.
and the more mainstream you get, the more you have to do to attract mainstream fans. Because just keeping it, let's say they just kept it straight up. You walk in the cage, you fight. Only fight nerds like us are going to be like, "This is awesome."
Right.
Everybody else is going to be like, "This is crap. Why do I want to watch this stuff?"
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true, that's
my
true.
point.
Like
You have to build the show.
you rile
it has
them-
to
you
be
have to rile them
entertaining.
up.
Yeah, you
It's
have
true.
to you have to reach out to the lowest common denominator to
what-
get everybody excited
what-
because not everybody like us is going to be like, well, I just want to watch the technique.
And
It's
as
the
far as
truth.
the money,
It's the
you
truth. That's
just
why
you
Eddie's
have
doing
to
what
just
he's
be
doing with
willing to
DBI.
lose
Yeah.
a few of those hardcore nerds that are
Right.
like, no, fuck this shit.
Oh, they'll just go online and go on a
They'll still
subreddit or
secretly-
like on the underground and just talk shit.
they'll secretly still be watching it and loving it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's
and just
my
talking shit about it.
Exactly.
that's my whole point with freaking what's his name, Demetrius Johnson. This is his second title fight in a row where he's the co-main event, not headlining.
He does not get a lot of
And
blood. It
how
sucks.
how many title defenses has he had? 10, something like that, close to 10.
Yeah.
He's
so-
arguably the
Is
best
it-
pound for pound fighter in the world.
Isn't he the only
Arguably.
in that
I'll
division?
argue.
Arguably.
Oh yeah.
He's the only champion in that division, right?
As far as I know, but
He's
that's a point.
dominating, but he doesn't. There's no hype machine around
doesn't
him,
put
and
up
he
the
doesn't.
show.
He doesn't
Yeah,
put up
he's
the
not.
show.
He's a
why.
nerd. He plays video games. He's a nerd. He plays.
Doesn't
he
he?
hangs out
What's
in
it, what's
Seattle.
it called when you can watch somebody play video games? There's
Twitch.
Twitch. He
He's sponsored by
twitches and
Twitch, yeah.
like has tons of people follow him playing
Really?
his video
I
games.
didn't
Yeah.
know that.
He got. It was actually pretty funny. I think for his last fight, he got tested on Twitch. Like he was playing Twitch, and the Nevada Athletic Commission knocked on the door
Shut up, really?
during one of his Twitches.
How funny.
Yeah.
To what? To drug test him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They have to know where you are at all times.
That's creepy.
Like you have to, leading up to your fight, you have to say, this is where I'm going to be on this day. I'll be at home, or I'm going to go, spend the night at my
For
mom's
how long?
house.
Like your whole fight camp, or when they announce it?
I'm sure there's a determined
like-
amount of time.
they're like
and
big-
they'll show up they showed up at Alan's house like at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they
Yeah.
were like, get out of bed, got a test.
They're like Big Brother.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I can appreciate the effort they're making to keep it fair, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know, invasion of privacy is kind of...
Yeah, but you know what? That's when you become. It's the same thing as when you become an actor. You sign up. There's a price of admission for the amount of fame that you are getting. So if you want to fight for the UFC, there's a
Right.
price of admission that you're willing to pay. It's giving up, your social life a little bit to train full time. It is being willing to take these tests. It is being willing to sign contracts and be part of the hype machine. That's the price of admission for being great. It's if you want to be an actor and you want to be famous, more than likely you're going to be followed by paparazzi. I'm not saying they should take pictures of your kids, but for everything there's a price of admission.
For sure.
And it's not to say you shouldn't have any privacy, but you are going to lose
For sure.
some of it.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And in other sports like baseball, I'm not offended by steroids and HGH. That for baseball, it makes a better show, home runs, whatever. With fighting, I can see where you're literally
Well, 'cause it's
kicking
direct
someone in
contact,
the face.
yeah.
It's not even like football where it's
Yeah,
like
it needs
there's
to be
contact,
regulated,
but like this is like you're getting punched. So you can't have one person on something, one person not on something.
For sure.
I was just listening to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think about Joe's argument?
with Misha, he and Misha talking about this, and
I missed that one.
It was really good. I really enjoyed her interview. I like her. Dang, I lost my. What did you say?
What were they
Testing.
talking about?
One
Testing?
person can't.
Steroids?
One person on.
Yeah, because and Joe's made this argument a million times, is you have to have a level playing field. So if one person's doing it, then you take, and we're talking about where in a fight where just the smallest bit of having an advantage means a world championship, means a lot of money, and if it's not a level playing field, so either everybody does it or nobody does it.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
What do you think about everybody doing it, though?
I don't think you can force people to do it unless you're pride.
I think it would make... I think this was Joe's argument. Like, I think it would make for one hell of an entertaining
Oh, for
fight.
sure it would. You'd just put a whole bunch of monsters in the cage. We shouldn't even have refs at that point.
WWE of MMA, or some would argue
Yeah.
that the
Big
UFC
Donald-
Steroid fight challenge.
start one that's just specifically
You
for
could have
that.
everybody who's on something just go in the cage at once and just put Big John on a podium,
man.
like where he's like
No,
looking
they
down.
they
like a
have
stick.
shows like that in Russia. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like
Why?
the hip show, they do the
Oh,
show.
that's right. That's an actual thing.
It's a thing. It's like almost like a
It's like teams
a,
of 5, right? And they just go, go!
It's like an
The hell?
no, they have
Yeah.
that, but they have like an obstacle course where it's like a free for all. They put
This
like
isn't the
12
Turkish oil
guys.
wrestling.
No,
It's not the
no.
Turkish oil wrestling.
It's called the
wrestling.
hip show. HIP.
The hip show.
You don't
No.
have the screen today.
We don't have the screen today. Sorry. Everybody go home and look
But
at yourself.
it is
We'll find
gnarly.
it up yourself.
They let like a dozen guys in this like matted out obstacle course,
Just, like,
and
kill
they're
each
just
other.
brawling each other. It is crazy.
Are they all on stuff? That's the question,
I
though.
probably I don't know, but it's crazy.
All right.
We'll
We'll
find,
look at it.
we'll find a video
Yeah,
and post it on
it's
the
entertaining.
Matt Therapy page later. See what this is about. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh, we
about
were
this
talking
whole
about-
like group
No, what I
or
liked
like
that
team
Misha
MMA
said-
fighting thing.
like
Like the
gang-
the
gang
5-on-5 either is that's kind of crazy
It's
too.
crazy.
Is it? Yeah. Can people like gang
And-
up on each
and
other?
then-
Like,
Yeah,
if one if like
The one-
two people
they
are down
can.
on one team, can like is it 5 against 3?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. Like you're literally jumping dudes. And what I saw, like one team looks significantly larger than the other guys. So I don't
A
even
whole
know.
bunch of heavyweights
I
and a
don't
whole
even-
bunch of
there's
lightweights.
like no-
I don't
yeah,
even
there's
think
no
they're
weight-
like
there's no weight
weight-wise they're
classes?
matched up. Yeah, it's the craziest thing.
Okay, so what Misha was saying,
Oh yeah.
which I totally... Damn it, I lost my train of thought again. What the hell? Somebody
Steroids.
send me some
Steroids.
Alpha Brain. Shit.
And some shroom tech while you're at it.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
Okay, good.
So, she was saying that, and I kind of agree with this. If you're doing it for the entertainment factor, then yeah, take all the stuff and it's cool. But she was saying that...
And admit it.
Yeah.
Just be open with it.
But she was saying that she wouldn't want to be on something because then she wouldn't feel like she got her belt herself.
She wouldn't feel like it's legit.
Yeah. Which I respect. I was like,
Absolutely,
yeah,
I
that's totally.
respect
I
that.
agree.
110%. I don't like to cut when I compete jiu-jitsu. I do sometimes, but I really don't like to water cut. I want to kind of walk around where I'm competing because
That's when you're at your best.
Yeah, it's when I'm at my best. I feel better. It's really, really unhealthy to do those big cuts. So I'd rather walk at it and have that be my advantage.
Yeah. What's been your high point and your low point in your competitions?
Oh, man. Well, my high point and my low. Well, my high point is obviously like winning, right?
Right. But do you have one match that it was like the hardest win?
Yeah.
Not that. I don't think anything particularly stands out to me. I think just training for it and going and winning is just huge, because I'm committing all this time, energy, resources into just getting ready for this one specific thing. And just like the feeling of winning is amazing. The low points, it's hard to say what the low point is because even when you lose, you still win, right? Because you're still learning. You're becoming a better grappler at the end of the day.
Right.
For me this year, the only big show is going to be Worlds. So that's the only thing that really matters to me this year. Other than I'm going to be doing that taps for taps also.
Awesome.
So that'll be pretty big. It's a sub-only invite thing, so I'm excited for
Nuwaza.
that. Yeah,
What
Nuwaza's
up,
doing
guys?
it.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, shout out
We love
Nuwaza
them.
Apparel.
I just want to point out that Cora's asleep.
How does jiu-jitsu affect your dating life?
What dating? No, I'm kidding. It had no.
Drew.
It has significantly affected my dating life for sure. I had a girlfriend last year, and we dated
She was
about
like, you love jiu-jitsu more than you love me.
It was just a lot.
Don't go to class tonight. Just come hang out with me.
Time management is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Especially like after you're training so hard and competing and doing all these things, and you're sore and you're tired, and it's like
if you're working too.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely easier to have a partner who does jiu-jitsu with you. Hi, Jonathan.
So
Aww.
So I
Hearts and stuff.
that relationship ended right before New Year's. So I've just kind of been in like after New Year's, that's when I decided like, you know what, I'm gonna do Worlds this year. I'm gonna train my ass off and just kind of dedicate everything to that. So I'm not out there looking.
Apparently, there's a BJJ dating site.
It's interesting.
What's it called, Becky? I wrote it down.
Isn't it bjjdating.com or something? I think it was pretty straightforward.
You'd probably circle around like the same profile a lot, I imagine, because there's not.
I can't imagine there's tons of people.
It's not that big of a community.
72 dudes and like 3 girls.
Right? If it's the same ratio as there is in class,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
Good for the girls, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have any rules about dating ladies who train?
I don't have any rules about dating ladies who train. I'd actually probably prefer it because they actually understand the training schedule and like the commitment and what it takes to do that. I do try my best not to date within my own academy.
That makes sense.
And I think that's huge for people because if that shit doesn't work out, one day one of you guys is going to have to choose or you're going to have to see them every day.
Did I tell you guys this before? But when I was single and I would date guys who did jiu-jitsu, I'd be like, you can't come to 10th Planet HQ. And they're like, what? And I was like, you're not allowed to come. You cannot come.
Yeah.
That's my home.
So when
That's my home,
Jonathan and
motherfucker.
I got together,
that's what it
I was
is.
like, well, we're married, so now you can come.
You're okay now.
But when I was single, I was like, you can't. Stay away.
I mean, it makes sense,
I'm with
and
you.
then like
I'm with you on the academy
that also
thing.
sucks to like your coach or to the academy, right? Especially if they're like a struggling business who's trying to retain students and are trying to like get people to come, and then all of a sudden like that's money that they lose.
Yeah,
You know?
I hear it could be awkward.
It can be
Becky.
I don't make it. It's
Called
not
you
awkward to
out.
me anymore.
She just.
I know it was awkward to people for a while, but
All she did was talk to Tom on the phone last week. That wasn't.
That picture will remain in the internet forever.
Yeah. So that's
Did you
no,
see the picture of
I'm-
Becky Drew? She's like this.
enamored.
I
Yeah,
was
but
just
that's
listening.
pretty
I
much
was
my
being a
only
good
rule.
listener.
Yeah. You don't listen to me that way when I'm talking. I've never seen you do that when Lee's talking.
Yeah. Come on, Becky.
I hate you people. I hate you all.
We hate you too, Beckford.
But yes, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Keep it out of the academy.
Yeah, keep it out of the academy, you
Learn
know.
that shit the hard way. So
Speaking of academy, do we have any girls, any women to highlight?
Yes, we're gonna start calling it our Women Crush
our Woman Crush
Wednesdays.
Wednesday.
Woman Crush Wednesday.
Set the date. our woman crush is Akira Bua, who she's like a little
such a
Cora.
cute little crush.
She's a little Cora. She's 11 years old and she's a beast. She trains at 10th Planet HQ. She's a gray belt under Eddie, which I'm still sorry guys. Even though I'm one of the kids coaches, I'm still learning about the kids belt
Ranks.
levels. It's strange. Do you know better than I don't?
White,
Gray is the highest.
All I
isn't
know
it?
is you're green before you're
white,
blue.
White is yellow come before orange or orange come before yellow?
Yellow comes before orange.
Yellow before.
Yellow
See,
comes before
Cora's the
orange,
expert.
and then green, and then blue. But then gray is like right before that.
Gray's
So what's
before
the
yellow,
highest of the
I
kids?
think,
Yeah.
right?
White,
Green.
gray,
Greenest? Okay.
Yeah.
white, gray, yellow, orange, green.
White, gray, yellow,
gray,
orange,
and
green,
orange.
blue. Okay, I need to write that down somewhere. Anyway, she's a gray belt. She's adorable and she's a killer. She started training about 2 years ago, and she's so cute. I asked her, "Why did you start training?" She's like, I don't know. My dad just said I was gonna go train one day, and then I went
I hated it.
and I hated it, and I got my butt kicked. But then I just kept going back, and now she kicks like everybody's butt.
Yeah.
She's awesome, and we love her. And if you want to follow her on social media, her Instagram page is Akira Bua. So AKIRA BUA, and she's adorable.
Oh, that's cute too.
She is.
But
For anybody who's
fine.
like a brand new jiu-jitsu practitioner and you feel that where you go and you get your butt kicked every day and,
Oh, you
and
have
you just
to.
you
Yeah.
don't want to go, just keep going. Just keep going.
Is that your
Don't-
sales pitch?
It gets,
Just
that's
keep
my
going.
gets better.
Just don't.
It gets
yeah,
better.
It gets better. Don't give up. You know.
Yeah.
Hard
Just be
work-
prepared
hard
to get
work
your ass
pays
kicked
off.
for like a year.
Yeah.
Look, you know, like I said, I was 27 years old getting my butt kicked by 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, so that was kind of my
Oh, that-
motivation.
that
I
will
just kept
humble you.
going back.
Yeah.
It was very humbling.
When a little kid
experience,
taps you
yeah.
out, Derek Rayfield.
Absolutely. Dude, that kid's flexibility is insane.
He's insane.
I put that kid. I met him in Vegas, and I put him in the twister, or I put him in the
It
truck.
does nothing
I
to him.
put
He's just like, thanks for the stretch.
I put him in the truck. I put him in the truck,
And he's like yawning.
and I reach for the twister, right? And I grip around his head, and he takes his free leg and puts it around his head on the other side. So when I'm trying to crank, he's got this leg in the way, so I couldn't.
Okay, as crazy as this shit sounds,
Look him
I
up.
believe
Derek
it.
Rayfield.
I
Rayfield.
absolutely believe it.
That would
Yeah, look
happen.
him
I
up.
was-
Derek
I was like,
Rayfield
what
is
going
made
on?
of rubber.
I was like, well, what do I do with
insane.
that?
Gumby. He's Gumby.
He really is.
Yeah, he's good.
He won't know who Gumby is though. He's too
That's
young.
true. But anyway, I just dropped my pen.
Here you go.
Thanks. I don't really need it.
What is everyone doing? Are you guys going to the fights? UFC 200? No.
No,
Are
I'm
you
gonna be
buying us
watching at home.
tickets?
I will be at home because
If you give me tickets, I'll go.
If I had tickets, I'd be going.
Well,
no,
then no.
the 10th Planet Women's Self Defense starts this weekend. So
Awesome.
watch at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And where can they go to get more info on that? But
They can
Dawna.
go to 10thplanetwomen.com, Lee. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know those. I can't talk today. I can't think and I can't talk. Seriously, somebody send me some Alpha Brain.
Tech. That was a subtle hint in the background.
You got any shout outs?
I do. I have a few today.
Tell us, please.
Anthony from 10th Planet Corona. Thanks for the love out there. I also met a Miguel over at an open mat in Costa Mesa on Sunday. Thanks for listening to the podcast. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Jasmine Pouncey, the tap out queen, who just won the 115-pound camo title. Congrats
Yay,
to that.
Jasmine.
A big shout out to our friend Alan Joban, who is fighting tomorrow
Yay.
in UFC Fight Night. We will all be cheering for you.
We will be yelling so loud you'll be able to hear us from Los Angeles.
Totally. Go
When
get
Alan
it.
first went pro, we had to apologize to our neighbors. Like when he was fighting on RFA, like our house would just be like,
The roof would be blowing
people
off
would
the
go
top.
insane. When he got his first knockout, we were like,
I'm
I'm pretty sure we woke the dead. Yeah. So
That's
Alan, you'll
fantastic.
hear us from here.
I'm gonna bring it down a little for just a sec because I also want to bring up one of our shout outs, someone that we talked about last week, Adam Dietrich, who was hospitalized last week with a blood clot, and sadly he succumbed to the effects of that, and he died on Thursday.
Yeah.
And he was only 22 years old, and I didn't know him. None of us here knew him, but you know, this is where jiu-jitsu, this is where we all come together and we unite, and it doesn't matter who you train for, who you train under, what what team you're representing, what you're wearing on what you're wearing, whether it's a gi, whether you're doing no gi, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. And just much love to his team, to his family.
Isn't there a GoFundMe available?
There is a GoFundMe, and they've surpassed their goal by double.
Awesome. over double. By now, it's probably almost triple.
Which is awesome of the jiu-jitsu community to come together.
And I love that. I love that everybody's able to come together during these times.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish that we could be like this more often.
Yeah.
I wish that everybody can just, everybody's proud of who or what they represent, and there's nothing wrong with that. I wish we can all just
come together as a community. I mean, that's what it's about.
Unite.
I think for the most part,
and be
we
prideful,
really do.
but
this
without
is such a cool community.
I think
we're all one big team in the end.
Yeah,
we're all under the same team in the end.
Yeah,
the jiu-jitsu team, and I wish we can see more of this, not just in a time of tragedy, but just in our every day.
Beckford.
Right. So, to Adam, may you rest in peace.
Yes.
We know you're in a better place now, and much love to his mom,
to his family, condolences,
his family, his girlfriend, his team, all of his friends, for sure.
Drew.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
So Facebook, Andrew Ryan Murillo, or Instagram at DrewJitsu10p.
Drewjitsu.
Or 10thPlanetVanNuys.com. Shout out my Van Nuys fam.
What up, Alder?
My coach Alder. It's the most amazing,
the Van Nuys
supportive
people. We love you guys.
person in my life.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Cora, if you want to find her on Instagram, she is I Am Triangle Queen. Her name is Cora Sek, and she's Adora Bubbles, and we love her.
Adora Bubbles.
Lee, are you coming to Jiu-Jitsu at the beach with us?
What day of the month is it?
Sunday, July 17th.
A week and a half.
I should be able to.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome sauce.
Tell everyone again where they can.
So again, Sunday, July 17th.
Yeah.
All right.
The day after EBI.
The day after EBI. Santa Monica Beach, California. There's a little park that kind of borders the sand there. It's called Crescent Bay Park. We'll be there pretty early. You guys can get there from, anywhere from 8 a.m. We'll probably be there until the sun goes down. So come and hang out and chill and, do some jiu-jitsu.
One quick question.
Yes, sir.
Will you have sunscreen? Because I
will bring sunscreen for you, Lee.
I'll bring my own, but I need extra.
Yeah,
water.
I'll have sunscreen.
We'll have food there. We'll have some music playing. It'll be good vibes. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to post it on the Matt Therapy page.
Anybody listening, come, bring your family, bring your friends, anybody who's interested in jiu-jitsu, or who's thought about it. Yeah. And also we want to create this unintimidating environment for people to come and experience it and see what it's all about. A lot of times when you are like, you want to get into it, you go to a gym, it can be really, really intimidating. People are trying to rip each other's heads off, and you're watching all these advanced guys do all this crazy stuff, and it can be scary. So we want to create this cool experience where people can come and hang out and socialize and not feel like you're in this awkward environment. And
we will try and rip your head off, but we'll do it very nicely. Very nicely.
In a very friendly way.
Yeah.
We'll hug you afterwards.
We for sure will. Lee, for everybody's podcasting needs.
For everyone's podcasting or video, any audio needs, go to leesyatt.com. LEESYATT.com.
Beckford.
Don't go to Beckford anything.
I'm going to change your Twitter account to Beckford.com.
Oh, man. BeckyDominguez.com. You can find all the links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. iTunes for the podcast stuff, and what else? Oh, and YouTube. Yeah. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yep.
And as well as on iTunes, and find our Facebook page. We're Matt Therapy Podcast. I'll have the information about the beach party on there later today. And make sure to give us some love on some ratings, maybe on iTunes.
Just to
like
let you know,
that.
Beckford.com is taken, but it's
Damn.
for sale.
Damn.
For $895.
For how much?
$895.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well,
we'll start a GoFundMe.
Dawna?
I'm at DawnaGonzalez.com. You can see all my stuff there. You can also go to 10thPlanetWomen.com and learn about women's self-defense. Don't forget to watch EBI on July 16th. Watch Cora kick some butt.
UFC Fight Pass.
UFC Fight
If you're not in the LA area.
You get UFC Fight Pass so you can watch Alan fight tomorrow,
Or
and then you can watch Cora on July 16th. And tell them about our sponsor, and then we'll go home.
We'll go home. I smell pizza, and I really want some now. Just saying, I haven't eaten. We, as always, are brought to you by Just Float. If you live in the LA area or plan to be out here, they are in Pasadena. It is the world's largest flotation therapy company. If you've never experienced it, you should. It's super relaxing, super good for your body, especially if you are in any sort of sports. You need it in your life.
Do it.
Go to justfloat.com, get half off of your first float. Use the promo code MT50 for that discount. Yeah.
Awesome sauce. Peace out, bitches. We'll see you next week. Eddie Bravo might be joining us.
Oh,
Don't
shit.
miss out.
Sweet.
Peace out.
Bye.